Hello everyone, how you doing, how you been, and what is new? Today in the video we will visit a new island created by this wonderful creator. I will give you a tour and we will look at this beautiful island together. So make some coffee or maybe some tea because we are starting right now. And today I will also ask you to subscribe to my channel and like it if you haven't did this already. Also on my TikTok and Instagram you can find a lot of new stuff and interesting things for you. I will be grateful and very appreciate you. Thank you. And started with our tour island review by exiting the airport. We are greeted by the pagoda behind the two lanterns on the sides. If you remember in the previous videos, I also used these items to build my island. Since I'm already editing this video and have reviewed it, so I can briefly tell you that island is made in the style of Japanese city or an Asian city, where it's rain non-stop. And if you are wondering why I recorded my voice over the video instead of live streaming, here is the answer. First of all, I recorded the video in Russian because it was easier for me and because I have a much larger vocabulary in Russian than in English. Then because in order for the video to be clean and without gaps. So I translated my own speech into English. Don't worry, it's still me and it's still my voice. I just use Google Translate to be easier for you. If I had left the voiceover only in English from very beginning on the video review without editing, it would have sounded something like that. Well, here we are now, there are grass growing here, there are sheep over there is trash behind us, and there are rock over here. See, it's not interesting to everyone. Okay, we are done with our side story, and finally we turn to our review to the island. As you might have noticed, we are already on the... Here the creators probably did not equip there too much. Here it's only a grass and a wheat field growing here. There is also an abandoned ship, most likely no one uses ship, and in principle, most likely no one uses either. Also we found some flowers here. I don't think anyone planted them on purpose, they just grew here. You can also see several palm trees. And then our road is end, meaning we can't go any further because the river is blocking us. By the way, I haven't tried using any tools, maybe it would be possible to jump this river, but I didn't even think about that. And while we were running back to the airport, have you noticed how the creators placed a lot of objects on top of the cliff, to make it look like it's a roof? And that's what I like in this island. Even the creators knows, as a visitor visiting this island won't notice or won't see a lot of things that are hidden on top. He still tried to fill it up all the spaces so that the island seems full and complete. We have already walked into the center of the island and just look how aesthetic and beautiful it is here. Look at this road and trees and cars. We can notice that this road is not used as often as they have to be. For example, the grass has already started to grow on it, and even there are a few mushrooms as well. We can also notice that the whole area is littered with various boxes, barrels, bottles, and something more. This is where the street ends, at the lowest part of the left side of the island. So let's go upstairs to see what we have over here. Here I think is someone's balcony, or a common area, for the resident of this house. Here we can find various items for living in the house. For example, someone is drying the clothes here after washing. Someone is having fun and drinking drinks, so you can see some empty bottles. Someone just didn't have enough space and they put place items here that don't fit to their house. It certainly looks very comfortable and cozy, even if it's stretched around the whole area. And as I said before, I really like how the creators place the different objects to make it seem like it was a roof. Because in the game itself we don't have any objects that mark it the roof. That is how the creativity you need to be to collect the different items which are often used for different events or different purpose in the order to eventually use them to build the roof. And just look how beautifully they created the building behind me. I think they used a lot of panels and made it look like it was a multi-story building with the balconies. And now we have returned back to the town hall in the island. The creators planted a lot of trees here and blocked off the entire area around. It was a smart decision in my opinion, because the town hall does not fit the style of the island in any way. And just look at this amazing entrance. To be honest, I would like to have one of these in my island as well. Here we have already reached the main street, and let's take another look at what the main entrance looks like. I like the way the creators use the panels and all the objects so that it seems like a part of the building or even a castle. Then we go right or left, I don't know for sure, and we saw one of the creators of this island. I think it's Shelby. Next we just continued our way to the right to make a circle around the island and not miss anything for our view. And then I found a very beautiful place that caught my attention. Just look at all these neon signs and how beautiful it looked like at night in the rain. Here the creators use a lot of TVs and even some small cubes. I don't even know what it is, but I'm very interested to know because I would definitely want something like this for my island. While we walk in and continue our way, we can again be convinced that no one is watching for this road, and perhaps no one even drives on it. Because here is a lot of trash, also old newspapers, boxes, and even growing grass with the mushrooms. Because if this were a busy street, all this would not be here. We just met the first villager of this island. I don't know his name, I just know that he is a pink rabbit. And I'm not sure if the creator had a message for selecting the villagers for this island. Most likely there was, because I already know that Genji and Shino lives here in this island. Over here, I just wanted to try to find a way to go to the ocean side, but I couldn't find any because all the fences, trees, and other objects was blocking the way to go to the ocean. Over here we find our first villager house. I'm not really sure whose house it is, probably this pink rabbit, because the name of the house was blocked with the plants. But it's probably nice to have a house by the ocean side, even if the ocean side and area around polluted and dirty. And now we reach the end of the street, and further we found a stairs which go into the second level of the island. Once again, I want to emphasize the point that how creators conveyed the theme of the city very well. For example, where the street ends, they put up barriers for cars and trees on the side of the roadway. Even the roadway itself looked very realistic, and here you are feeling like you are actually walking in the city and not in the game. We met a third villager in form of the green bear. He is the third one only because we had seen a wolf before. I don't know the names of the bear or the wolf, and to be honest, I do not know anyone's names, except my own villagers in my own island. Here we found a basketball court. I think that on this court most likely no one plays basketball, but does something else. Because here we can find an old piano, bottles, trash, and even an old couch with a shopping cart for the groceries. For sure nobody even playing basketball over here anymore, but probably maybe it's a place for hang out, talk with the friends, and do something more. It looks very cool and I like it a lot. And going further, I understood and noticed a very interesting point. You see this container for collecting the trash near the vending machine? So what's strange in this there? It's a bag of the trash next to this container. There is, we can assume that either option A, no one properly cleaned these containers, or option B, no properly throws out trash. I'm more inclined to option B only because the whole city looks dirty and littered. Perhaps this happens only because all the villagers sit at home and do not go outside, which leads to the fact that they don't care how this street looks like. And to prove our point, you can look at the backyard of this house. No one can even cut the grass of the backyard, which leads us to think that all the villagers are sitting at their home and not going outside. And we found a house where someone is currently right now. So I decided to test my point of view and see what the house looked like inside. I don't know who is this, but it seems like a cute deer. And as I told you, look at her house. Everything is clean, everything is beautiful, everything in this place. There is not a single place with the trash, like on the streets. And she has a nice place to take a bath, there is a place to cook food and also enjoy her life. Of course, why would you want to leave there such a wonderful home for this polluted and dirty wall? And if you are noticed, she even have a poster on the wall that look like a window. And this poster doesn't look like the street is polluted and ugly. It looks like the beautiful forest with the flowers behind. Here we have already gone back and can notice that the house inside and the house outside are significantly different from each other. As I told you before, no one here cares what area look around. Everyone sits at home and enjoys their life inside. I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong about what I think about this island and its theme. Maybe the creators had something completely different in mind when they built this island. Well, even if you look at this store, you might think that no one goes to this store, and all of the villagers of the island use only the probably online store in their cozy homes. Here we can see the second multi-store building, which I admire again. And look at these balconies. There are even someone drying their clothes on the rainy day. And then I decided to check the lower level of the island if we've been there before. And after that I went to check the second house where there was someone to live inside right now. It turned out to be a house for Genji. Genji already lives on my island, and as far as I know and can see, his house cannot changed at all. It looks the same as it was originally built in the game. Creators only added a few accessories and looked like it was in the beginning. And as might have noticed, his house also looks so clean as the previous house as well. Around Genji's house, it doesn't look so bad how we can think it about. There's just a little bit of trash on the ground on the road. Then we continued our way around this wonderful island and now we went to Shino house. And the Shino house is located next to the house of the owner of this island. If you could notice, they have a common table with the chairs. Maybe they have something like a picnic area together. So, I'm not really sure, but I think the Shino house looks exactly the same as the beginning of the game. So, creators not really remade this house, or maybe they are. I just don't really know, just because Shino arrived to my island when you have to build 3 houses for 3 new villagers in the beginning of the game. Well, we not really know. And now we come to one of the most interesting part of this whole video. We'll look at the house of the owner of this island, and I hope they arranged the house inside. And just look how beautiful it is here. The main room is a bit of mess, books, papers and pillows are scattered on the floor. It feels like someone is doing a homework after school or working on a new book, or something else that we can't even imagine. The whole room is done in an Asian style and I really like it. Then we went to the left part of the house, and here we find a bathroom made in a wonderful way. I would like to have such a bathroom at home, to be honest. Just look at how this room is made. Here you can feel like you're in an expensive spa salon. This bathroom looks absolutely nothing like you would expect in this city. Maybe I'll even highlight some ideas from this bathroom and add them to my home, because it actually looks so really nice. On the right side of the house we found a kitchen. Here I'm feeling very comfortable and cozy. Here we can find an Asian style table with a cup of ramen on it. Also, look at these lights. It gives a cozy and serenity atmosphere. Then I decided to look at the back room of this house, which is hidden behind these panels. And look how they put these panels. This look really aesthetic and it fits the Asian style as well. Here I actually didn't quite understand what kind of room it is. Maybe this room is for relaxation or for a tea ceremony, but then why does this room look so dark? Here you will find a bird in a cage and vases. In general, maybe I don't quite understand what kind of room is this. Then I decided to check what is on the top floor of this house. But unfortunately, I didn't find anything either, as well as the bottom floor of this house. But it's okay, because I like how the owner arranged this house. It is completely made in Asian style and looks very beautiful. After the review of this beautiful house, I was a little lost and did not immediately understand where I needed to go and where I had already been. Then because we ran a little bit through the places where we had already been and went back down the floor or level on this island. On the left side, I found one of the main buildings of this game, which is a camping area. But I think creator had other plans for this tent. As we can see, this area looks more like a homeless villager of this island lived here. Then I continued our review and I decided to go to the end of the left part of this island, so I don't miss anything. Here I show you how the new champignons grow, and you can notice how the beautiful view opens behind me. As I already said before, I really like that the creators did not forget even the smallest details and filled this island. I can't even imagine how long it took to them to build this beautiful island. And then I visited the fifth, fourth, or sixth house. I don't remember exactly how many houses we visited on this island before. And now we are visiting the pink dog. As I said before, I don't know their names. But just look at her house, how chic and rich everything is here. It seems to me that only this statue of samurai costs like 1,000 million money. That it. While is such a dirt and trash everywhere on the streets, even near her house, she lives her rich and doesn't care life. I didn't even say goodbye to her. I was so angry with her. Maybe it's not even the villagers' fault that the island is so polluted and no one's cleaned it. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe they live either in the future or in the present tense. Or maybe this is how the street of Asian city looks like. I'm not entirely sure. Well, let's think about it. They could at least clean up around their houses. Why don't they do that? Maybe their life inside their houses is much more interesting than their life outside the house. In the end of this review, I finally decided to look at the map of this island to see where we haven't been yet and where we need to go. I still haven't quite figured out how they picked the villagers for the island. If there was some kind of pattern or theme with the selection of villagers, but from the map you could tell that we are already approaching the end of the island because we are at the back of the map. Here we found a hidden museum and just look how they cover it. It looks simply amazing. I really like the lanterns, they remind me of Asian lights. And also, again, I found the same cubes that were at the very beginning of this review, and I'm still interested in that. What kind of cubes they are? I want them in my island right now. As I understood from the map, the island wasn't completely built up. That is, not all the island was used to build this city. Most likely, the creators closed some part of the island or built it up to show many floors, which is logical for the city type of the island. Here our road is ended again, and we went to a corner. Even if you look at this corner, you can imagine how many objects are placed in here. It seems to me like maybe 100 or 150 for sure. Just how much work went to this corner if you think about it. Then I was already guided by the map where I had not been yet and what places I had forgotten to see. Then, because we quickly returned back and found this wonderful building, this is already the third multi-store building that I still admire. But at this building we found a patio area with a viewing platform on the ocean. And then we went to the very right part of this island to see if there any way to go to the ocean side. Of course, we did not find a way, but we find something interesting. For example, look at the roof that is closer to the screen. There is no exit to this roof, but the creators tried and even filled the space on this roof. We also found the second creator of this island. I do not know, and I didn't try to approach him here because the entrance was blocked. Perhaps, as I already said in the beginning of the video, if I had taken tools with me, I could probably get to him. And at the end of our tour to this island, one of the most beautiful locations awaited us. Just look how beautiful it is here. This is a real shopping street and Chinatown together. I really like how they built this street. It's a pity, of course, that there is no way to exit, but it still looks very atmospheric. The creators built this street as if that was a continuum of the street further on. This looks very beautiful. And that's the end of our tour. I really like this island and maybe I'll come back here again. Thank you for being with me the whole video and we'll see each other in the next video. Thank you, bye bye!